What's the first thing you want to do when you pulled your MIG welder out of your box when it was brand new? You want to stack them dimes, didn't you? Yeah, everybody does. Well, on this episode of AC Designs Garage, I'm going to show you how super fast and easy it is to set your machine up and stack them dimes like a bank teller on a Friday evening. Coming up. Alright guys, let's get the machine set up so we can put down the best weld that we can. Today I'm just going to start with whatever the factory's calling for. This is my old Miller-Matic 185. This thing's like 30 years old. I had this in high school and I've been out a while. So, we're going to be 023 ER70 S-6. We're running 7525 argon and CO2. So what we're going to do on the 023, you're going to come across to the 1/8 inch. That's what we're doing. We just got some old 1/8 inch scrap. You can put your voltage on 3 and your wire speed on 70. And like I said, you can change these up and dial it into your preference after you get welding. But I just wanted to start, simple. All right, I run my 7525 about 20 to 23 CFH. That's what I run it at. Seems to work good for me. All right, here's some test pieces we done yesterday. I was just playing around with it just to get her tuned in good, and I'm gonna get set up right here, and I'm gonna show you how I manipulate the torch, if you want to call it. You can do circle, cursive E's or C's. All right, guys, this is how I usually do it. Right there in the corner of the joint, I'll focus my wire right there. If you can see it, it'll go in here. And I'll pull the trigger and I'll get it going up, watch your puddle come down, and I basically let this touch down here on the bottom. It'll give you your exact space, so you just come up and loop, come up and loop, come up and loop. And you want to keep the space in between these as consistent as you can. The more consistent you keep it, so you're going to come up here and loop down, come down, and make sure you're keeping the right angle where it's getting both sides. You want to tie both of these into it, so that's why I like to do it like this, and just come down and come down. But I'll show you with the marker, maybe you can see it a little better. We're going to focus today just on doing the cursive E and the sawtooth. I've got just enough scrap that I have cut up. It's already ground clean. You want all your mill scale off. You really want this stuff as clean as you can get. I'll wipe this off in isopropyl alcohol or acetone before I get ready to weld. But you want to get that old crusty, nasty mill scale off. It'll just weld better and it looks a lot better. So this being the corner of the joint, that's what that line is. Basically, if you had a piece of, like we're using a T-joint, like that. This is how the cursive E, I start right in the middle, and I'm not left-handed so I can't show you. And I'm gonna be dragging. I drag my welds. I don't push. I've saw a lot of research on them, and Jody at Welding Tips and Tricks, which I think is probably one of the best welders I've seen around, and great instructional guy. Go check him out on YouTube. He's got an awesome channel. This is how I'm going to do it, and the Sharpie's going to represent the MIG gun. So I drag all my stuff. So you have to get way down in front, and I'll show you how I set up for it here in a second to where you can see it good. But you'll start right there in the root, and you'll come up and you'll loop, come up and you'll loop, come up and you'll loop. And basically that one piece that I just showed you, we'll show you again here in a second. This is how it was done. And the trick is, you want the space in between each one of these as consistent as you can get. It's almost like you got to have a beat going to where you go loop, 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 loop. Just count whatever you need to do, but you want the spacing, because if you go way out like this and loop, and then you do another loop here, and then you go way out here, that's what each one of those little circles is going to look like. So you're going to have spacing. So it's practice. You guys can do it, even beginners. It don't take long. After you can get to where you can just run a flat bead, try this out. Just get you some scrap. I actually took a piece of angle iron. That's why it's beveled. I just split a piece of angle iron, have to make my little coupons out of. So I've only got two. I've got this one, and this was the cursive E one that I done. I'm gonna show you again. I got some good arc shots on this we're gonna put in here, and I'm gonna do on the back side, I'm gonna do the little sawtooth pattern, what I called, like I'm getting ready to show you, and then this one here will be a new cursive E one. We'll try to do a little better on it. So on what I call the sawtooth is basically the same thing. That's like your T-joint here. It's already tacked together. You'll have tack air. So I'm dragging. So I'm gonna try to get my hand out of your way so you can see. So we'll start right there in the corner of the joint, and you will come up and it's the same way to get consistent whatever you're going. The closer, more space perfect, like between here and here that you can get this, the more uniform it's going to look. So that's the whole real trick to this. Because like I said, we're using factory settings on the machine. I don't have any crazy, you got to have 19.4 volts and 70.2 inches per minute on the wire speed. So that's the trick, is your consistency. So just keep trying. So I'm gonna run up like this. I'm gonna come back down. I'm just gonna zigzag back and forth, tying these two pieces together. Like I said, we're wanting to keep our spacing in between each one of the little saw teeth, if you want to call them, like that. Just try to keep the space as accurate as we can. So we'll see how this one turns out. Not too shabby. That's a little bit chunkier, a little bigger well, but we'll get it ready to show it to you guys. I'll get it cleaned up with the wire brush. And that's the little sawtooth one, if you want to call it that. Where we just went up like a sharp tooth kind of. So let me know down in the comments which ones y'all like better. I like them both. For looks, I like the Cursive E better, but man, this bridge is over nice. Now this would be a nice strong well also. All right, the Cursive E. That one's not too bad. Let's get a little close up on her. Alright guys, there's a little Cursive E one. It's not too bad. I got a little out of sequence stuff, but it's not bad. I'll take it. But everything's burning really well, and like I said, this was just the one that I started down here on the bottom and looped up. Just bring your loop back over to where it touches the one before it, or maybe a little past. That's the Cursive E one. This right here is the zigzaggy one. Sawtooth, where you gonna call it? Kind of looks like a sawtooth. That's what I do when I'm building it. This comes up like a tooth on one. Sharp tooth, sawtooth, whatever. And that's the Cursive E one. I think I like the looks of the Cursive E one a little bit better. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed that quick little video on stacking dimes and stuff. And these are not perfect, and you're not going to get perfect. The more you practice, and I need to stick a little more practicing on MIG weld. The more you practice, the more consistent you are, the better you guys will get. So I hope these little tips and tricks helped you out. And remember, be kind to one another. Jesus loves you, so do we. God bless. We gone.